everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Netherwar, Aftershock. Thank you for joining us for your weekly dose of superhero shenanigans. My name is Alex, and I will continue to be your humble game master for this series. And apologies in advance if any of us have voice troubles. We were all at Origins over the weekend, and we were GMing through our masks and talking to people and having a wonderful time. But, yeah, my throat is like, who are you and what did you do to me? Tonight we will be playing Mutants Masterminds, the world's greatest superhero RPG produced by Green Ronin Publishing. It is a D20 system that allows players to roleplay their favorite superhero stories in a satisfying narrative manner with a little bit of crunch for people who prefer that in their game systems. It also features hero points, which are one of my favorite things. They're a special resource players can use to elevate their character to truly superheroic heights. Taking the form of additional actions, increasing their strength or the ranks of their powers, editing the scene to have something useful suddenly be available, and allows heroes to use their abilities in creative ways. They're earned through good role-playing, vivid descriptions, jokes I think are funny, and from you, the audience. If you follow, subscribe, or donate bits during the stream, you earn a hero point that you can give to the hero or GM of your choice. And I did see that at least two of you who are here did follow in the last couple of hours, so if you want to give a hero point to somebody, please feel free to shout out the character or player that seems most appealing to you. Or if you want to give them to me, I am always happy to
No, stop. You can't. No, that's rude.
Rude.
We've gathered some
Rude.
perfectly cromulent heroes tonight.
Oh, wow.
Say it's a pleasure to meet you, heroes.
It's a
It's a
pleasure,
pleasure to meet you,
heroes.
heroes.
I want to give everyone a chance to tell us a little bit about themselves, the character they will be playing, where else we can find them, and have them answer my question of the day, which is in honor of Kevin. The question of the day is, if you had to teach something, what would you teach? And I'll start with Kevin.
That doesn't seem fair. That's like not allowing any. So, my name's Kevin. I'm playing Overdrive for sure this time, not, one of the other characters I've been in this particular story. Like, oh, actually Overdrive, coast to coast. I am usually only online on Monday nights, although I do lots of gaming offline. I'll be, I've missed the convention circuit this year, but I'll be sort of, simulating that at Free RPG Day, local. So unless you're from Pennsylvania, you're probably not gonna make that trip, but that's okay. What would I be teaching if I could be teaching anything? Art. Just kidding. No, I have no disrespect for art, but I love social studies. That's why, in my mid-30s, I went to school to become a social studies teacher. I would really prefer to be teaching high school social studies like electives, if you know what that means. Kind of like people choose to be there instead of they're just doing it because they have to. Last year, because of the pandemic, ordinarily in middle school, only your tested subjects matter in middle school. So your schedule for students is selected based on your English and your math needs, and they just cram science and social studies in wherever. And so it's normally just this huge mess of every class period. But I actually had groups because the students were not moving around, so they were grouped homogenously. So I had like a whole room full of superstars, and it's like, oh, this is why you get into teaching. Like, these are the ones that are, I mean, everybody needs a teaching, of course, but as a teacher, that little secret is you want those students who want to be there. I also think that regardless of what your post-high school plans are, I don't think that we're currently doing enough to educate future citizens when it comes to what to do with your citizenship. I think political science courses should be added to high schools. But of course, the danger is then, what if it's more about indoctrination and teaching? And that's a whole nother mess. But, social studies is all about being ready for the future. So, yeah. Over to you, Josie.
Hi, everybody. I am Jonesy. Tonight I will be playing Mortis, our necromancer, guardian of the crossroads, and living dead guy. As far as the question of the day, I don't know. I almost went into being a trainer for my current job, my day job, but I ended up going into IT instead. But as far as what would I teach, I don't know. I would lean towards probably like art because I actually went to art school. So
See, I can't draw stick figures. So I'm jealous of people who are artistic.
We all made pretty good art together.
Hey, we're Calvin.
That was such a good.
We're never gonna bring that episode up again.
Hey,
That was in the NDA. That was in the NDA. We're never bringing that one up.
I have altered the terms of the NDA. Pray I don't alter them further.
He just Vadered me.
happy little Kevin's.
Happy little Cody's.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Kat. How about that?
Thumbs down. Is it my turn?
It is your turn, Kat.
Okay. My name's Kat. I'm playing Centuria. For those of you who are a little new here, I play Centuria a little bit differently. She comes from a realm where everybody was dead but her. So she's a little bit crazy, a little bit in love with Kevin's character. And she also has a doll named Davy in her pocket that she talks to. So that's fun. As for me, this is the only night that you can find me here. I'm busy with school and work a lot of other times, so I don't get to do this a lot. And as for the question of the day, I would teach music. I actually almost went to school to become a band director, and I even got into the very competitive program that I applied and auditioned for, and then decided not to do it. I play 3 instruments, but decided maybe I wanted to make money instead of earning like $35,000 a year teaching high school students that don't even want to be there. So, yeah, that's my answer. So, Andy?
Brutal.
It's almost like you took a job that Kevin has.
Hey.
Kevin hates money.
I don't know how
do hate
Kevin
money.
does it, bro.
Hi, I'm Andy. I am here on Monday nights for our Mutants and Masterminds shenanigans. I am also the host of our Storyforge channel, which you can find over on our YouTube page. I go into character creation for a number of different systems, kind of giving you just a little bit of an overview. We also do some GM tips and tricks. I'm kind of retooling it right now. So all of the back catalog's up, and we'll be getting some new stuff out here probably within the next month or so. We've got some brainstorming sessions to get through, and then we'll get some videos recorded for you. Tonight, I am playing Resonant, our resident gem mage. And to answer Alex's question of the day, actually, I would teach martial arts. I kind of miss Taekwondo, and I haven't done it in years. I just think it would be kind of fun to pass on some of that confidence building that instilled in me. So that's where I would go. Calvin?
Okay, well, hey everyone. Guess who's on time this week?
Yay.
For once,
yeah,
the speedster wasn't late.
Yeah, right. I had to give him a break.
The wheels on the bus go over Kevin's head. Over Kevin's head. Over Kevin's head.
Yeah,
Supposed to beat.
It's fine that you're running me over, but you're supposed to let me know.
Yeah. Do what you got to do, but keep me informed.
Yeah, I'm playing Bowman tonight. The agile archer with an awesome array of arrows. I want to literalize that a bit more. So I'm going to try a few things over the next few weeks. As for there's other places you can find me online other than just here every week, although I love being here every week. I'm over on the Went with Dice channel over on YouTube, where we do weekly GM podcasts and weekly gaming streams. I've been playing through Skyrim for the first time. That's been really fun. And we also talk about the Lancer RPG a lot. If people are interested in that, that's definitely a good place to go check it out. And we link to some other awesome people who were involved in that. As for the question of the day, what would I teach? I don't know. I was kind of leaning towards like programming and game development, because that's sort of the thing that I studied and I'm still really into, but I don't know if I would feel comfortable trying to pass that knowledge onto someone else. It would kind of be that thing where I'm reading like a lesson just ahead of the person I'm teaching it to. I think I'm confident enough to do that at least. And I'll pass it back up to Alex.
Yeah, hi everybody, I'm Alex. I'm here all the time. You can find me anywhere on the internet. You can find me in the Drift. As for what I would want to teach, Honestly, I think creative writing would be what I would want to help people tap into their ability to tell stories. Specifically, if there was a creative writing for role playing games, I think that would be a great elective to teach. You know,
That'd be cool.
with how popular Critical Role is, I'm sure it will be a class in colleges soon.
If it's not already.
Yeah, if it's not already. Can you imagine? I got my degree in RPG design. That'd be wild. I'd be in trouble because my RPG design job was just given to me by dumb luck. So who knows?
It's not dumb luck.
It was courageous luck.
There you go.
And the absolute generosity of Steve Kenton that I will always shout anywhere I can shout to anyone. So yeah, I think without further ado, we are good to get started. And I think this is the first week in like 5 weeks I haven't messed that up.
Yay!
So,
Thanks.
right? Just knock on something.
Oh. Right.
So, without further ado, last time on Netherwar, our heroes opened with the assault on New Horizon Media, where a number of Serpent People assassins had come to assassinate the Faster Mage, otherwise known as Overdrive, the Master Mage of the Wellspring of Velocity. Overdrive was there, having just finished his traumatic interview with Bowman and Sophie, and Sophie disappeared in the elevator, and then Bowman ran off to go get his costume and didn't come back until after the fight.
Yeah, he got stuck in his pants.
Yeah. Our
Tried to
heroes managed to fend off the Serpent People assassins and protect the people within New Horizon Media. There were no casualties. That was super awesome. And then when Bowman returned, everybody sort of went to go track down Mallador the Mystic, who was loose somewhere in Freedom City. A lead was given to them that they found Mallador was staying in a place called Night Jars, which was an ancient colonial mansion that was once home to a Satanist sex cult that may have done something real bad. Details at 11. They found a number of Serpent People stalking around the outside of this building dressed in colonial reenactor clothes, and they decided to sneak into Night Jars, where they found an unruly punk rock ghost who dressed Bowman up in a dress and dragged him back down to the group when he tried to sneak away. It was definitely Bowman's bonnet color.
Of course.
And then the heroes found a secret passageway that led down into the ground, where they found the remaining Serpent People who were under the sway of Mallador the Mystic. They did convince them that their papier-mâché golden mask of Mallador was not really the magical artifact that was, and the Serpent People charged them with killing Mallador, lest they find them and deal with them later. The group went down. They found Mallador the Mystic in the midst of casting this powerful ritual to do who knows what to who knows where. And he was trapped within a ring of magical obelisks that had been set up by their least favorite wizard, Sophie. Sophie came forth, said, "Haha, I'm the Master Mage. I'm going to kill Mallador and absorb his magic." And then things got bad. Una materialized in this world, smashing Una, Mallador, and their favorite friend Sophie all into the Golden Mask, creating this terrible three-headed magical monstrosity that then disappeared from the cellar, leaving them all sort of holding the bag and wondering what the hell was that. And that's where we find our heroes, still in the cellar of Night Jars, with Sophie. Sofunador is the name that we came up with. Gone. So I will hand it over to the heroes.
And Resonant will look over at Mortis as soon as Sofunador disappears. No, not again. This is going to be worse than last time. We got to figure out if anything's breaking. If Una managed to pierce through and absorb those two's magic, that's not a good thing.
Centuria is
Nice.
sort of like hyperventilating in the corner.
It's important to note, Centuria, that in your universe, it was not Sophie who was drawn into Sofunador. It was Medea. So things are going different than you were expecting them to.
Hyperventilation gets worse.
Yeah. So Resident will try to. She's trying to handle 5 things at once. So she sees that Centuria is having a panic attack, and she's going to head over and just basically let Kate. It's okay. We're going to handle this. Okay.
It's happening again. You guys are all gonna die again.
It's not. We're not. I promise.
What do we have to do? I can't do it again.
And she'll take her hand and squeeze it. You're not alone. We're here. We're not going anywhere.
Started out that way last time too.
What's different? Tell me something's different at the very least.
I mean, she absorbed Sophie instead of Medea.
Okay.
I don't know what that means though. I don't know.
It depends. Medea's magic is older. It's probably more powerful than Sophie's. Depends on how much of the Master Mage energy that Sophie was able to harness, if any. There was a reason Eldritch wiped her mind of her magic.
No.
Thank you very kindly, Oguruk, for the free hero point.
No.
Big sad.
The GMC was nice enough to give his to theirs to Andy.
So, okay. We should get back to the Nexus. If anything mystical is going to trigger, the Nexus is as good a point as any for us to work out of. We should be able to get to and from. We should be able to get information. Sala can be a set of eyes and ears for us. What do you guys think?
If that's the case, then let's get going.
Yeah. Let's do this.
Give me a minute. Let me see if there's anything here that we can use. Do you want to help me, Mortis?
Yeah, I'm thinking we should probably grab the crystals if nothing else. Those replaced by Sophie and not by Malvor. So
Yeah, let's give those a once over at the very least. So I am going to make a expertise magic check.
I suppose that's okay. Mortis, do you want to aid?
yes, I'd like to aid
Okay.
my expertise as well.
Yes, please go ahead and give me an expertise magic check to aid.
New fancy sheets. I got a 19.
19. That is a successful aid. Resident, you will get a +2 to your expertise magic check.
Which makes it a 38.
38. So as you're examining the crystals here, the first thing that you reluctantly notice is that they are pretty masterfully put together. The magical wardings and bindings and things in here are pretty much up to par for what you would expect from Adrian's magic, or Seven's magic, any of the master mages that you've come into contact with. Everything's pretty well put together, and what it looks like it's sort of a sequential trap. So any energy that is cast from inside the circle feeds into the crystal, and then the magic user in question who created it benefits from that energy. So it's sort of a feedback loop where it drains energy from the subject trapped within and feeds that energy into the mage who created the stones. They also create a sort of barrier where stuff can go in but nothing can come out from a magical perspective. So anything
Right.
Malador was using within could not escape from the confines of the gems. But spells could be cast in, so if he drained himself to a certain point, somebody could finish Malador off while he was in there pretty easily.
Right, which was kind of probably what Sophie was looking to do, drain him of his magic, and then and we saw firsthand that spells couldn't get through at the end of last week's episode. So
Yes.
okay.
You think if you took them with you, you might be able to create, you might be able to use them. You're not sure if you'd be able to attune them to yourself, though, or if it would just feed energy back to the original caster. You think that would take some effort?
Yeah, there might be a way to maybe reverse it, make it a drain and disperse rather than drain and feed.
Well, and more importantly, if they're linked to her, Sophie was the one that was feeding it too. It has a link to Sophie, which means we can use it to find Sophie.
Depends on how much of her magical signature is still left, I suppose. All right. Let's take a couple of these, and Resonant will pull out the Atlas and open a portal back to the Nexus.
Awesome. Thank you so much for following the Deuce. I hope you're having a great time. Thanks for spending some of your Monday night with us. Because you followed, you do have a free hero point that you can give to the hero or GM of your choice.
The GM already has one. Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy.
Remember, Kevin, there are 3 other GMs at this table.
No, he's saying the GM, not a GM. You gotta watch that.
Says the GM of your choice, and he doesn't specify what that means. Hope springs eternal, apparently.
Yes.
I will say each of these stones is mass rank 8, so they weigh about 6 tons.
Oh boy.
Just sort of to gain a feel for the stones. So however you want to load them up and move them.
6 tons, you say?
Yes.
I
you
think
speed
I got a
wake those?
speed wake. I think I got a. I've added a heavy lifting speed wake. I'm all about, being helpy helperton. That's how I roll.
I can't remember how many tons I can lift.
Let me
so as
call
long
this
as
up
you can
here a
do it.
second.
Also, Knight
Yeah, I
of
left the
Foltus,
crane arrow at home.
Knight of Foltus, you're right. The Deuce is actually our 300th follower. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give each of you a hero point. And I'm going to let the Deuce still have the one that's dangling for whoever the Deuce wants to give it to.
Catherine, what's your what's Centuria's strength check? Strength rating?
It is 16.
16.
I used to have it written somewhere, but
My heavy lifting is exactly 6 tons.
I feel like I can.
How convenient.
You have 1,600 tons.
Each one?
No, she can handle 1,600 tons.
Hey, we're not having a measuring contest here, all right? You just asked who could move the stones.
True. But I just wanted to know what she was asking because she didn't know how much she could do.
Oh.
There's that handy little calculator at the top now.
Oh yeah.
I am just saying that I'm better than you, though.
Oh.
Tell it to the action figure, lady. Tell it to the action figure.
I have an action figure. Both worlds.
And it's me.
Davey's like, no, I agree. I think you are better than us.
Thank you.
Hey. That's stupid. Little action figure.
So yeah, Centuria, you could carry. Math is hard.
A lot.
You could carry 267 of these things.
Show off.
There are 8.
But Dave, if you want to, go ahead.
Thanks, Kate.
I like pick one up and like toss it up and flip it like a coin. She doesn't actually do that. She's having a mental breakdown, so you can carry them.
It really doesn't matter who carries them. Let's just get them out of here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll start moving them.
What's important to remember is that Bowman cannot carry them.
Me doing it.
Resident looks at Bowman. It's either them or it's no one because the 3 of us can't lift any of those, and you know that.
I'm well aware of that.
What are you talking about? As Mortis reaches over with his ghostly hand and picks one up.
Oh.
Spooky? What are you doing?
At 2 spooky?
Well, no, that's only if he throws it at me.
No,
Don't.
I would never
What can
throw
I do?
anything at you.
Thanks.
You're my colleague.
There it is.
There it is.
And friend.
Just colleague.
Thanks,
Acquaintance, if you will.
You're
Citizen.
a friend and a work
Citizen.
associate.
That's right, citizen. Oh wow.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and head back to the Nerian Nexus to figure out our next move, I think.
Excellent. So yeah, you load up the rocks. Centuria's carrying some of them. Mortis has at least one. I think Mortis you can carry probably 2 or 3. I think you have a 25-ton limit, if I remember right.
I think so. Yeah, it's pretty gnarly for ghostly spectral hands. Yeah.
Take that, mage
One.
hand.
I was gonna say that's one heck of a beefed up mage hand spell.
Big B's got nothing on me.
So you load everything up. You all head out. You emerge from the depths of this colonial mansion out on Lantern Hill. Mortis, you do see that the ghost who went off to go get Lantern Jack has returned.
I let everyone know. Just a moment. I need to go fill in other local entities on what's going on.
Okay, well, hurry back. We do need to get back.
Yeah, and I can meet you at the Nexus if I need to. I can go through the crossroads if necessary.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll see you there.
I will go over and find Lantern Jack.
Awesome.
Assuming he came back with him.
He did. You do see that the little ghost boy Archie. He takes off his little tricorn hat and he holds it out. He says, "I went and did the thing you asked for. Yes, I did. I found Lantern Jack and brought him right here. Tip, please."
I will try to make a little ball of consolidated energy. Just like a marble size ball, pretty like a big size marble of ghostly energy and put it in his hat.
He takes it, he squeezes it, and you see like the puff of green spectro ectoplasm fuses with him, and he gets a little jittery. He's like, "Oh, that's nice, sir. Yes, it is. If you ever need anything else, just come down Lantern Hill and ask for Archibald."
Get him addicted to energy.
And he kind of like steps off to the side, and he like looks expectantly up at Lantern Jack, who is there, holding the green lantern, the masked face, the big long coat. He says, "Mortis, we need to stop meeting like this."
Well, as soon as Una decides to stop her trying to tear apart our reality, that would be wonderful.
Yes. I have noticed something has happened here. I can feel a union and a tear in the magical energy of the universe. And he's kind of looking around, almost like a 1,000-yard stare, just sort of around the area.
Unfortunately, Una's got her hands on the spectral remains of Malador the Mystic, and a former apprentice of Adrian Aldous is known as Sophie. The 3 of them fused in some sort of composite being.
I feel the nether magic flooding this area even now, like an unstopped drain. Things are going to get worse soon.
Well, I want to make sure I gave you plenty of warning.
And he kind of looks at the ghosts around, and the ghosts. More just give me an insight check as you're sort of looking at the non-Archie ghosts.
Ranks and insight. 11.
You're not 100% sure what they're thinking, but you do notice that every ghost here on Lantern Hill has turned in unison, and they are facing south side. And generally, with you, ghosts aren't that super terrifying to you. You know, you're sort of used to them. You're married to one, and these ones, they don't have the sort of general friendly Casper disposition you're used to them having. Even when you walked in here, most of them were like, "Oh, that's funny what's happening over there at the old rich guy's house." Now, these ghosts have a very grim look aspect about them. And their color has sort of shifted to a more sickly green than the sort of like effervescent blue that you're used to. Cerulean even.
take a shot.
And Lantern Jack is also he seems to be keeping an eye on the ghosts.
I'm greatly worried about her effect elsewhere. I know the tendrils were reaching into the multiplanes of the multiverse. This is only going to make matters worse.
Indeed. I will do what I can here, but you and your allies must act quickly. It is time, and he kind of just, the fog rolls in around the hillside, and he disappears into it. The last thing you see is the glowing green of the lantern. And then everybody else arrives at the Nexus, and Mortis will be there soon.
Yep.
Alex, would I know anything from when I went through this before that I think, oh, like, this is what could be happening next? Like that kind of thing?
Give me an expertise Netherwar check.
I can do that. 31. Ooh, crit.
Wow.
I
Nice.
know all of the things.
Centuria is hyperventilating and focusing on everything that's been going on, but that's hyper focus for you. As you're sort of like, you're going in your head over everything that happened from this point forward. Because up until now, it's sort of been like the fun stuff that you remember, making friends and, getting used to your friends being alive again after everything that happened.
Now it's just, reliving the trauma, PTSD.
Yeah, Centuria's like, oh no, it's the night before finals. And as you're sort of focusing in, thinking about exactly what domino effect happened from this point, the gang separated from here. They went off to go investigate each of the different multiverses that required help independently, except for Bowman, who left the group at this point to go off and do sort of Ronin stuff, to borrow Hawkeye. The borrow Hawkeye example. He was greatly devastated by Sophie's betrayal and by the loss of Seven completely, that he discarded the bow, picked up a sword, and went and started murdering folks.
All right. Centuria's gonna walk up to Bowman and grab him by the collar. Get real close to his face. You cannot leave us. Do you understand me?
I wasn't planning to.
You're staying with us.
Well, as far as I know, the mission is here.
And she's just gonna look at everybody while still holding on to Bowman. No one is leaving this group. We are all in this together.
Yeah.
And then she'll just sort of collapse onto the ground.
Resident's gonna try to go find Sala. Make sure he's around.
Excellent. So you all step into the Nexus. The first thing you notice in this magical house is that there is something off in the energy here. Usually it's a pretty perfect room temperature sort of space, but it's a little humid in the Nerean Nexus right now, and the air is a little hard to breathe. It's muggy and stuffy in here. It's like a Louisiana hothouse.
Somebody turned the air conditioning off.
That's what it feels like.
You just gave Jonesy PTSD, you realize?
Who even builds a sauna in Baton Rouge? Who needs that?
It's a sun porch.
It's a sun porch. If you need somewhere to keep the cornbread warm before dinner.
Man, it's brutal tonight. I don't know what's going on. Is it a full moon or something? What's that?
Who knows? I'm getting married in 27 days.
There is that.
So the Nexus has that sort of muggy humidness about it. You also notice that all of the various art pieces that are usually on display here, there's something just slightly off about all of them. Everything has gone sort of to a more macabre or gothic sort of aspect to everything. You can see skulls hidden in places that there weren't before. There's paintings of people playing in the woods, and you see large hulking wolves stalking them that weren't there previously. And it feels wrong in here, and the details are just a little more off, a little more dark as you're moving through. And Sala did not come to greet you at the front door like he usually does, because this place is huge and people could get lost if they're not careful.
Do I still feel the connection to the house? Like, are we still?
We've been evicted.
Yeah, have we been evicted?
You all do still feel the connection to the house.
Okay.
You are all still the shepherds of the house, the owners of the house. But
Okay.
that connection does feel a little more interstitial. It feels like every now and then there's just a little hiccup in the magical energy that binds you to the house.
Okay.
Which Resonant would recognize, Mortis would recognize. I don't know necessarily that Bowman, Centuria, or Overdrive would be super cognizant of.
Right. So Resident will walk in, kind of see everything, and she's gonna have that look on her face like something bad's about to happen. And she's gonna call out for Sala and try to put a little bit of force into it to make the house, at the very least, bring him to her if it's trying to do anything to keep him from making it to them.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So you sort of focus that energy. It ripples out through the house. Everybody in it can hear Resonant's voice essentially vibrate through the walls around you. And Sala does answer. He says, "I'm in the menagerie. I need help. Come quick."
Uh-oh. Speedway.
Speedster goes fast.
This is gonna be like that part in Aladdin where it's the bird calling in Jasmine's voice, and we're about to get jumped.
Oh.
So
That's what
cynical,
I'm
Centuria.
feeling. But I'll go.
How devious do you think I am?
Pretty devious.
We've all met you.
Alex, this is episode 33. You can't get anything over on us. But sure enough, Overdrive catches everybody in the speedway. You go racing off down through the house to the various different rooms, and you notice as you're as you're passing along, making your way, some of the doors are opening and closing on their own. You can hear like tea kettles whistling around. You can hear storm clouds rolling through, rumbling with thunder. There's one room in the library that it's raining in that you notice as you race by, and you make it to the menagerie, which is in the basement of the Nerian Nexus. You come up on this balcony that overlooks the sort of Superman Fortress of Solitude glass cases that Adrian and Sala keep a number of creatures in. It looks like there are a number of creatures out and loose around, and we're going to go into a skill challenge as you all sort of figure out how you want to get in and get involved with fixing what's going on.
Right.
So I will pass it over. This can be any sort of animal wrangling skills, any sort of expertises that are relevant, insight checks, perception checks, however you all want to contribute. I'm going to give you a lot of narrative control here. And feel free to describe the kind of creatures that you're finding and how you're wrangling them. I'm going to start with Andy.
Okay. So Resonant is probably going to be using insight to be one step ahead of the creatures, trying to guess their path that they're going to move so that she can be in the way. And I imagine Resonant is probably going after some of the smaller creatures, probably some sort of like more fey-like creatures, fairies, pixies, anything that she can kind of just coerce back into cages and pens. So we'll go ahead and make my insight roll.
Yeah, there is one rabbit down there that's wearing a black cape with fangs.
That's not funny. That is
Okay.
not.
All right, Pookie, back in your cage. Back in your cage.
My name is Benicula.
No, it's Pookie.
Respect me.
Oh, Lord.
You're a wizard's familiar. We all know this.
No, I'm a powerful vampire lord.
I can't even right now.
I have a 33 on my insight check.
Awesome. That will be 2 degrees of success for the skill challenge. So yeah, go ahead. You're sort of guessing where these creatures are going to go. You're sort of channeling
Yep.
that information.
Yeah, and that's why I'm going after some of the smaller, more flighty ones, because it's easier for Resonant to get in their path because she's able to guess or sense where they're going to be moving.
Excellent. Who do you want to pass it to?
Let's pass it to Overdrive.
Okay, so I want to sort of do like sort of microburst speed jumps and like with acrobatics try and corral some of the larger creatures with sort of some weird assuming they're animals and maybe the odd pattern of movement will sort of distract them and herd them sort of. So does that sound like acrobatics to you?
Acrobatics or speed, whichever one you prefer.
Oh well, if you're gonna up the speed, I'm gonna take the speed. Love that speed check. Ready to go.
It's gone.
Where is my speed check?
Isn't your speed still low?
Yes.
Oh, never mind. Acrobatics it is.
Yes, I forgot to mention to everybody that Overdrive did have his speed absorbed by the serpent folks.
Half of it.
Half of it.
Half of my speed. That's rude.
Now I'm as fast as you.
So anyway, I feel it's 20 on the acrobatics check. I'm not talking to you right now.
A 20 is a failure on the skill challenge, Overdrive, if you want to take it, or if you want to spend a hero point to reroll, you are free to do that as well.
Well, I feel it's dramatically appropriate for me to have a failure there, so I'm going to let that one stand.
Awesome. So give me a toughness save.
Rude.
Rude.
Oh, that. See, I need to save my hero point for that.
Oh no.
Ugh.
Overdrive
That
is
one.
killed by the skill challenge.
Yeah, this is being killed by a skill challenge. This is terrible. And that's
At least 26.
a 26.
Okay, you don't take any damage, but I will hand you the narration for what you're trying to do and how it fails.
All right. So as Overdrive is zipping around, sort of strobing in and out of the visual spectrum, instead of calming the larger animals, he seems to agitate them.
Too much quick movement. They're just like, what do we do with this? Stampede!
Yeah.
Stampede.
Sala is like struggling to keep a cage door closed, and he sees Overdrive come around the corner. He's like, no, that was attracted to speed! And he raced by.
Its vision is based on a lot of movement.
Stupid anti-T-Rex. Oh, I'm going to pass it over to Bowman.
Oh, great. Could I perhaps apply an archery check to this using a various array of my multiple different kinds of arrows?
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Okay. Handing arrow.
I wish. I'm kind of imagining like use of a bola arrow over here, maybe a foam one for a larger creature. There's probably this big like bull, but it's also on fire a bit. So just a bit of a frost arrow to try to corral it in a different direction away from the colds.
Excellent.
Depending on how well my archery check goes.
I believe in you, Bowman. I was GMing a game at Origins. I said I believe in you, and somebody said I don't think he believes in you.
Wow.
Oh, can I not roll the archery check from the skill section? Okay. Should I just roll like a regular arrow attack then?
Yeah, just make like a regular arrow attack.
Okay. I'll use this one. 25.
25 is a success on the skill challenge.
Cool. So yeah, he's laying out like he's
success, but it's a success.
I'll take it. So yeah, he's firing at the bola arrow. Just another quick frost arrow. He might see, I don't know how good his perception is, but if there's any creatures around there who are invisible or anything, then he might have to break up the paint arrow for that.
Yay!
Yes, the paint arrow.
I love that.
I'm a huge fan of arrow characters.
Yeah. So yeah, Bowman, you're sort of firing arrows, tricking things back into their cages, and you do see there's a number of like just shattering things on the side. You're pretty sure there's a critter over there, so you grab the paint arrow, you fly it over. What color's the paint in the paint arrow?
I honestly kind of imagine it being like a mix of colors.
Oh man.
Rainbow.
Because whatever he's trying to reveal, he wants it to be like big and obvious. So very bright, very vivid colors, highly reflective.
Yeah, you hit a bunch of stuff that you really wish you hadn't outlined, because your human brain is like, I don't understand that shape. I don't think I'm supposed to have seen that. And it flies out, explodes. Sala's able to go over and help get those critters back into their cages. So Bowman, you could pass it to Centuria or Mortis.
Centuria, because Mortis isn't there yet, is he?
Yeah.
Mortis will arrive right around now.
Oh, well,
The middle of
Hot
the
potato.
I don't know, Centuria?
Okay. Centuria is sort of on full like defense mode, trying to make sure, like, watch everybody's back, make sure that no animals are like sneaking up on them or attacking them. Specifically, Overdrive, she's doing that a lot too, which is good because he just, messed that up. So, she's
Internal
doing a
monologue,
lot.
Centuria. Internal monologue.
She is like sort of literally picking up these animals and sort of like tossing them back into the crate once they try to like lunge at the
How many crates?
All the crates.
player character. Yeah, so should I roll athletics, acrobatics?
You make an athletics check if you want.
I was like, throw.
Good.
I got a 25.
25 is a success on the skill challenge. So what happens, Centuria? And what kind of creatures are you tangling with?
She's probably going for like the bigger ones. I don't really know what kind of creatures would be around, but definitely the more hefty ones that some of the other teammates wouldn't be able to handle as well. She's literally just like zooming in last minute right before they like try to claw at a teammate or bite at a teammate. She's just sort of like lifting them up and like yeeting them into their cage.
Are you dealing with the chupacabras from the border?
We are dealing with the chupacabras
Yeah.
on the border.
Dang, bloodthirsty chupacabras. It's funny because it's a cage that has a bunch of chupacabras and then one guitar player. And then Mortis, you do step through the crossroads into this scene of chaos as your colleagues are stopping a mass breakout in the Nerian Nexus.
Okay. Knowing that some of these are cryptids and creatures of mythology, and I would like to use my occult skill to know the appropriate wording, words, and sigils to block their passageway and basically herd them back into their cages.
Excellent. Go for it.
So,
Despite all their rage, you're still just a cryptid in the cage.
Mm-hmm.
that's a 14, and that's gonna be a hero point reroll.
Good. Good. Just gonna rub my little spider arms together.
24.
24 is actually still a failure on the skill challenge. It's barely a failure. So please give me a toughness save. Oh,
That's
no.
a 3.
Where's the rest of your toughness?
I don't.
Did you take a bunch of hits last fight and didn't clear them?
No.
You don't have a 2 toughness, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Doing that.
I hope not, anyway.
No. Why is it doing that?
Oh, and for the folks at home, these are power level 12 characters. I think you guys have 200 and 20 power points.
Just
29.
yep.
But give me 1 second. Let me just my other.
Yeah, take your time.
Mortis's toughness is supposed to be a 10.
Okay,
I don't know
so
why
that would have
it's-
been 11 instead of 3.
Still bad.
Because I rolled a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a stagger if you want to take it.
I am staggered.
Okay, I want you to describe what happens as you're trying to use your occult knowledge, and then one of these mythological creatures just wrecks your whole life.
So
Wow.
I'm trying to wrangle in a bunch of Black Nile death scarabs into a cage, and a four-eyed, four-winged black raven creature flies over and starts attacking me. And I look over, and their eyes are glowing green with the sickly Netherwar, nether energies, as opposed to the way they're supposed to look. This is actually a creature from the twisted creature from the Crossroads that somehow has gotten mutated by Una's magic and is, just weighs into me.
Excellent. And Medea is going to try to save you.
That would be very nice of her.
She's not
Can't go
known for
gal
being
palling with
super
you.
nice.
Yeah, but it's selfish. You can't go gal palling with him if he's not,
There.
If he
or
dies,
yeah.
I just have to remember which book that she's in. I think it's Start Report.
I think you're correct. Yeah, a couple episodes ago, we ran into Medea and Mortis.
She's
club
also
hopping.
she's also in the Freedom City book.
We took her club hopping at some of the local gay bars in Freedom City, and since then they've been tight.
Alright, I must have forgotten to move her character sheet over to the new table, so I'm just going to roll her expertise magic real quick. Of the members of the Crime League, she's one of my favorites. Although I do have a soft spot for Dr. Simeon.
I'm gonna
Who
work.
could not have a soft spot for Rocket? I mean, he's an 8
I'm
with
gonna do
a blaster.
my best. My goal is to get her to move from the crime lead syndicate to the misdemeanor syndicate.
The Crime League, Medea, here we go, 214. Expertise magic is a plus 14. Here we go. Oof. I'm going to spend my hero point to reroll for Medea.
Yay! This hero point that he got from the viewers is now going to save my butt. I hope.
Yay.
So 27 with the hero point reroll. So
Jeez, Alex.
yeah, I rolled a 4 and then a 3 on the dice, so life is great.
Mm-hmm.
The creature's coming in to finish off Mortis, and Medea kind of like puts up a big golden shield with her hands, and she forces it into this cage, and she slams the glass doors shut, and she quickly inscribes a bunch of runes on it in ancient Greek. And she kind of pants and sort of sweats a little bit as she's finishing that up, and she looks down at Mortis, and she looks at herself. She's like, did I just do something heroic? Huh.
Give her a little thumbs up. I was like barely conscious.
And she'll sort of help you back up to your feet, and that will take us out of the skill challenge. With the creatures mostly at this point subdued and put back in their crates. And Sala will kind of wipe away a bead of his sweat too and come over to the group and say, I don't know what happened, but everything just started going crazy in the house.
Yeah.
What? What is there? You don't know what triggered it?
No, it was just like everything was fine, and then the next moment, magical artifacts were letting themselves loose, and the creatures were letting themselves out. The
Well,
cloak of
I
fight
think
tried to choke me.
that shouldn't have happened.
No, it should not have happened.
Um, well, we were at ground zero. Una absorbed both Sophie and Malador the Mystic. Sophie was trying to steal Malador's magic, and, well, one puppeteer thought they were the puppet master and found out that they were the puppet.
Sounds like dark times. We need to go to the monitor room, and he'll sort of he'll just quickly brush past all of you and say, "Right this way. Come with me. Come with me."
Follow.
And he'll lead you up through the nexus, and he'll take you up. He'll take you up to this room, sort of in the very center of the house that none of you have made it into just yet. And you see that there's a number of these sort of astrolabes hanging from the ceiling that seem to depict a bunch of different planets and different universes, all spinning, made of this golden material. And usually you can see that you can see as you're looking up, there are these connection points made of magical energy between each of the worlds in various different colors, golds and reds and generally blues, very pleasant colors. You do see he kind of rushes over and grabs one of the astrolabes and pulls it down. He says, "This is our Earth. This is where we are on Earth Prime." And you notice that the astrolabe is sort of vibrating and shaking in his hand, and the energy that's dispersing to other worlds nearby goes from the colors that it was to the sort of sickly green and purple that you associate with nether magic. It's filtering away from Earth Prime and out into the multiverse, and you can watch in real time as it's passing. The green energy passes from planet to planet to planet, and universe to universe to universe as you're watching.
Resonant's going to kind of put both hands over her mouth and just shake her head at the horror that she's witnessing with all of this. And she pulls them down. This is Una destroying from Earth Prime, isn't it?
Not destroying, but spreading her influence and her magic.
Interesting.
Corrupting things,
I mean,
turning things dark. Destruction will happen if we can't stop her.
It's already infecting all the ghosts that were at the manor we were just at and spreading out from there.
If she's able to bring Earth Prime into the Netherworld, that'll be her 1000th Netherworld. And she'll become a godlike being, the likes of which none of us can even comprehend.
Can you track where this energy is coming from on our Earth?
I could try with some help.
Something's going down on the south side too.
What?
I don't know, but as soon as the corrupting influence of Unas spread through the mansion, every one of the restless that was at the manor turned to look at the south.
It could be something left behind by Sophie, or it could be something entirely unrelated. If there's magical chaos going on, maybe something else was set off over there.
Yeah, but it's almost like it's too big of a coincidence. You know? Why south side specifically?
I don't know. Whatever it is, I have to go check it out.
No. We have to go check it out. Remember what Kate said? Nobody goes off alone.
Fine, if that's necessary. But I feel like the bigger deal is here. We need to study those crystals and this whole multiversal map.
If you're going, we're coming with you.
Alex,
Yes.
when I came over and I left the manor, I came to the area nexus. I came via the crossroads. Was the crossroads currently being impacted by Una as well, or is that not happening yet?
It looks like it hasn't been affected yet, but it's hard to tell because it's always spooky down there. But you didn't see anything that was supremely indicative of Una. No more creepy than usual.
I know better than to argue with all of you, but I don't want to waste time if this isn't what we're looking for.
Then we better leave now.
Yeah, at the very least, Sala, can you start taking a look at these? We know Sophie set them up. She set them up as a feedback loop. She had trapped Malador inside of them, and then was feeding off of all the magic that he was channeling. Nothing could get out. If there's any way we can sever the connection or maybe utilize it to find Sophie inside of Una, if Una hasn't already suffused her essence, anything could help us
Yeah.
stop all of this.
Yes. Miss Kate, I don't suppose you could not leave those here in this room. Could you take them down to the laboratory before you leave?
Yeah.
I don't trust them near the astrolabes. I don't 100% know how these things work. Adrian set them up.
Yes, I can take them down there.
Snag, I'll help her.
Yeah, and I'll take the. Do you want me to take a look at those first, or do you want me to take a look at these first? I can do one or the other.
Is there anybody else we can call for help?
I could call Gatekeeper. He'll be interested in this, especially if it's affecting his sort of hold on things.
Okay.
It'll take
Yeah,
me some time
if
to
you
get here, so whichever one you want me to look at first. If
Um,
this were a Telltale game, there would be a left and a right arrow saying which way do you want to go.
right.
Oh boy.
No, stay here. Keep an eye on the astrolabes. I want to know how quickly it's spreading. That'll tell us how much time we've got. And that's really, if we don't have a lot of time, it doesn't matter what we do with the crystals.
Medea will step forward and she'll say, I can help.
Yeah. No, I think that would be a good use of your skills.
Oh, it's nice to be appreciated. And she'll sort of go over and stand next to Sala. And Sala will give her sort of a look, and he'll look over at you, Resonant.
She's been really helpful the last couple of days, and she helped Mortis down in the lab or in the menagerie.
Yeah, and the last time you were here, miss, you beat me up and tried to take over my house. He kind of looks over at her.
Well, Sala, if we don't succeed in this,
End of the world and all.
yeah, Medea doesn't benefit.
All right, I'll defer to your judgment, but I'm keeping an eye on you. Stay out of the kitchen and my silverware. And she'll hold up her hand like Scout's on, or I'm here to help. And you
I
all.
guess
Yeah,
we're
let me
gonna head
take
to
all these
south
down
side.
to wherever, and then I'll meet you guys there.
If we're going, I do have one place we need to stop first.
Okay.
There.
I just need
Flashes
to
to
pick
the
some-
bow cave or wherever.
Yeah. I just need to pick something up.
Psychic or 12.
Okay. If it's somewhere we've been before, I can take us with the Atlas, but I can at least get us into Southside as quickly as possible.
That'll do. It's in Southside.
I figured. So we'll go ahead and port to Southside.
Awesome. Yeah, so sure you drop you drop the big heavy rocks down, and you come up. You join the group over in Southside. Drump is a perfectly cromulent word.
Grump.
Yes.
Bowman, where are you taking everybody?
I gotta stop at the quiver and I gotta pick up a crossbow and a certain somebody's superhero outfit. Because I feel like stuff's about to blow up.
Awesome. I don't think you've taken anybody of your teammates to the quiver yet.
Sure haven't.
Here we all are.
So, yeah, Bowman, walk us through this. What happens as you're leading people down, and what is the quiver like as you take the gang there for the first time?
So, since this isn't some place they've all been before, I don't know if the teleportation will allow them to get directly inside. So there might be a very short elevator ride down through. It's built underneath one of the Freedom Ledger like printing buildings, printing press, I guess. Sort of led down through there, kind of hidden behind some of the machinery. There's certainly a secret entrance in. Leads down to sort of like this almost bunker-like area that has some very like specific accoutrement. There's a gym, there's the massive bow computer, there's a garage that has the bow cycle there, which everyone has seen at this point, I guess, and perhaps something else underneath a tarp that's in the middle of being built, as well as somewhere to store weapons and equipment, which Bowman heads directly to, soon returning with a large case and a crossbow at his side, which he will probably store in the bow cycle.
Fun thing about that, though, the crossbow is not there.
A child in here.
The case is there,
Okay.
but it looks like the case has been unlocked recently.
Is it empty?
It is empty.
Cute. All right. Looks like what I was looking for isn't here presently.
Not sure how you find everything down here. You've got so much stuff.
It has a certain organization to it.
Then why isn't it here?
My best guess is someone came and took it. The only person who could have is the person who deserves it right now. So
What does that mean?
as he's unfortunately trying to like not waste too much time, but I guess he has to deal with this. I've seen what can happen to a person when they feel betrayed by a mentor, someone who could teach them someone they thought they could trust, and I was trying to prevent that from happening again.
Okay.
That's funny how that worked out, not on purpose.
I mean, I'll give you credit.
I'll take it. You know, I will always take credit. That is not a... I didn't think about that until just now. So.
Well,
I've been thinking about that for weeks.
While this is going on, I am texting Gatekeeper,
Mhm.
and just giving him a heads up on what the hell's going on. Just if there's anything he can do to help slow down the spillage.
Yeah, he does. He does text you back. He says, "I'm getting a lot of interdimensional interference. There is something going on. Been working on trying to help as much as I can."
I will give him all the dinner. It's Una. She's Adrian's ex-apprentice. Malador. I'll
Nice.
info dump anything that will be useful to him.
Awesome. He will take all of that info because all of that info will be useful to him. He says, "I'm coming to help Sala, but I can't stay long. I've got to keep working on slowing this down."
Just buy us some time.
And Bowman, you get a text message.
What does it say?
It's from Jason. He says, "I'm over at the new community center. Help! Send help! Mayday!"
I will message back. We're on the way, and I will send a second message that says, "Suit up."
Already
Do you
did.
type differently as Bowman than you do as
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Somehow it's all somehow it comes through as gravelly and broody.
All
He
the
has
letters are...
a special font made just for that.
Yep.
Hey, you put two bow emojis on the beginning and end of every message.
Oh, no.
The text is just angry all the time.
Yeah, it's just like a bow, angry face.
It's always caps lock. Always.
Oh man, he is the worst person in every chat group that he's in.
Excellent. So Bowman, you do you get the coordinates from Jason. It is the facility that they broke ground on the other day that you were being interviewed about, and they've built in the foundation Not in the last couple of days, but in the last couple of weeks since while you guys were stuck in TV land. They started building this building, and the foundation has been poured. The lower levels are framed, but the basement seems to be the only thing that's really finished, quote unquote. There's no electricity or water or anything, but that structure is complete. It's supposed to be the big community center that you're building to help Southside.
Okay, I will refresh my quiver and. All right, I've got the address. Let's go.
Okay. And then we'll head out.
Awesome. Mortis, give me a perception check.
My dice have not been working tonight, so 22.
Ogoruk said in melee combat does he only attack with his elbows.
Of course.
I think he needs a hero point. I think our viewer needs a hero point.
Yeah, can we give a hero point to the audience?
Yes.
Yes, so that he can use it in his games that he very rarely gets hero points in.
Mark it down. If you come to Origins next year, bring me a slip of paper, and I'll give you an extra hero point. Or Gen Con, if you're coming to Gen Con next year, I'll be at Gen Con. So, Mortis, the 22 perception is you're sort of keeping an eye on things while everybody's flying, zipping on their way over to Bowman's location. You do notice that the spirits of Freedom City entirely are floating, making trails of flying spirits that are all centering around Southside, around 4 different locations downtown of this part of the city. The sky is that sort of dark gray storm clouds rolling in, and you can see just these trails of spirits, one after the other, following along, creating almost like green highways of spectral energy focusing on this part of the city.
Things are getting bad. Like cross the stream's kind of bad.
Oh Lord, they coming. Yeah, lightning flashes and the rain begins to come down as you all arrive at this construction site. Looking around, you can see the wooden frames of the lower level going in. You can see various bulldozers and other construction equipment around. There's a crane, large pallets of concrete, and big stacks of wood, power tools all over the place. And Calvin, what does Jason's costume look like?
So I'm sort of imagining it's like an inversion, like the same sort of like yellow and blue with the black highlights as Bowman's costume, just with an inversion of the blue and the yellow. So like the yellow is the base color of the costume and probably covers the majority of the body, while the mask or hood or whatever equivalent he's wearing is more that yellow color. And then again, it does have like the similar black accents, and the armor padding, of course, and the cool fingerless gloves.
And you do realize what you've done. You've dressed your sidekick in bright, shiny colors that stand out everywhere he goes.
That's what sidekicks are for.
Jason, the boy target.
Exactly. And then yeah, like instead of having the back mounted quiver, I'm kind of picturing they're more like either on his hip, like somewhere on the belt, because he has like the smaller crossbow bolts.
Awesome. And he does have a hand crossbow in his hand, and he's looking over his shoulder. And you notice out of the construction site explodes up a number of looks like golems made of ghosts. A bunch of Freedom City spirits have all banded together into these monstrous humanoid creatures, comprised entirely of spirits, and they come stomping over to kill Jason. And he looks over.
Too well.
And he looks over your way. He says, "Hi, I'm Bolt. Help!
Did you say Bolt?
That's my superhero name.
Well, Centuria.
I'm
The
Bowman's
ghost
partner.
of Christmas past.
He is literally like 12.
No, I mean the last Bolt who you broke utterly. I mean,
Hey.
no offense.
We don't need
Not
to
the
talk about him
time.
right now.
Seriously, not the time.
Well, the kid's gotta know what's coming his way.
Bowman's gonna grapple arrow in and swing down to land dramatically beside his sidekick, and then they will be
Superhero landing
briefly
so hard on the
backlit
knees.
by a bolt of lightning as he does a superhero
Wow.
landing.
Wow.
You land next to him, and Jason looks up at you, and he's like, "Wait a minute, is there another superhero named Bolt already?"
Not anymore.
I really should have run the name by me first. We'll discuss it after.
And as the ghost golems move in to attack our heroes, I think that's a great place for us to take our quick little break.
My boy's a superhero.
So
I'm so proud.
Proud dad moment.
So thank you everybody who's been hanging out with us tonight. I hope you're having as good a time as we are. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. We're going to get up, stretch, grab a drink of water, grab a snack. Call the orphanage. We need another Bolt here. And we do have some ads on our carousel just for our other games that we have upcoming. And I know there's an ad for my book and for the artist who does our character art. So we'll see you back in here in just a few minutes.